Hey there, welcome back to another week of This Week at Skye for episode 5. Again, we have Ashley. Thanks for joining me, Ash.
How you going, Phil?
Great. How are you?
Winning.
Yeah. Good. All right. So we've got two topics. We're going to just get straight into our 2 topics. So topic number 1, we've got ASIC giving us some regulatory guides about informed consent for commissions. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, so these new guidelines from ASIC, they're not affecting financial advisors too much, more in the general brokerage sort of space. So now everyone's going to be brought onto the same table to make sure that they're getting the client's informed consent before accepting commissions from insurance companies. So if you've gotten insurance from, say, a comparison site, it's highly likely they'll be getting commission based off of the premiums that you're paying. Advisors, we get the same. Now the general brokers are going to be having to make sure that they get your consent. Advisors, we've been doing this forever, because we're guided by a code of ethics. And so one of the standards, Standard 7, says that you need to be making sure you're getting the client's pre and informed consent before you can accept any fees at all, commission included. So we've been doing that. Doesn't mean there's going to be too much changing in our statement of advice, maybe one sentence you said, but these changes come into play from the 10th of July. So at that point, all of the general brokers, that's when they're going to have to make sure they're changing what they're doing and make sure their clients are informed of the commissions they're getting.
Yeah, there's lots changing. I've been in advice for 12 years and it's never not changed. So that's good. For us, it's literally, I think me and Trent, by me and Trent, I mean Trent, did all the work to update it and basically just updated the one line in the advice document. So moving forward, the government are talking about removing advice documents and what that looks like, and it's more if that gets removed or it's a different format, then we'd have a separate document to get informed consent. But as you said, we've had the obligations to disclose our commissions, disclose any upfront, ongoing, any fees.
Yeah.
We've got to disclose everything. So we've had that for a long time. So for us, it doesn't make much of an impact. But yeah, there are some changes. Yeah,
it's not largely affecting advisors, but still another change in the advice industry, which is forever changing.
Yeah.
How has your reading been going this week?
Good. I looked at an article from, where is it? Genre. So Genre is a reinsurer. So reinsurers, they're the insurance company for the insurance companies. So an insurance company, they will, take on maybe 50% of the risk, but then get a larger global insurance company to accept the risk as well. So they're very much aligned with what's happening globally because they reinsure lots of countries in different areas. So Genre came out and to talk about TPD sustainability, which is, if we've talked a little bit about it here, I think it's going to be a massive conversation for the next 3 years until insurers sort out what they're doing. Some of the things that they talked about is in 2022, the industry recorded its first loss on individual lump sum payments in many years. So individual lump sum payments is like life, disability, trauma insurance. And so they lost money on that. It's becoming even more unsustainable. So Genre, they just brought out a paper and talking about a paper that ALUCA, it's the Underwriters Association and an Actuaries Association. So I've probably butchered that, but it is the insurance geeks who work out the pricing, who understand the underwriting. They brought out a paper about the sustainability and just talking about a lot of insurance companies, they do a multiple of income, and that's kind of their way of reducing the sums insured. And so they're talking about, how that, isn't maybe fit for purpose sometimes, like doing a 25 times your income as a TBD benefit may not be fit for purpose. Like I'm sure you've got clients in situations where we're capping out on their TBD benefits.
Yeah, working on one of those just this week, and we went back to TAL, asked them if they could give us special treatment, and still
they said no.
No for this case. I have had cases where they have said yes, but this week was a no.
Yeah, and this number for, let me go on my high horse why I don't like the multiple of income, because if someone is working part-time and their household, they've got a big household income and we've got a big mortgage, we still want to make sure if they're disabled, it will impact in my situation, Kate's not doing paid work, if she was to be disabled, I'm pulling back on my ability to earn. So having a multiple of Kate's income doesn't make sense. We want to cover debt as well. So there are some things that I get frustrated at, but again, in a lot of our reading and a lot of what we do in our conversations with insurers is the insurers have data that says the higher the level of TBD cover, the higher the percentage of claim. Theoretically, it should be the same across the board, whether you've got $200,000 or $2 million, there should be the same claims rates on the policy. So,
what are they saying the calculation should be based off of? Have they made that recommendation in that?
No, they didn't actually. So this Gen Re article didn't actually say do this. They didn't actually come up with a recommendation, but they just said, look, reevaluate the income multiples because sometimes it's unrealistic. Address overlapping benefits. So if there's income protection and TBD, like how do they manage that? Refine annual indexation. So one of the big things they talked about is your cover can index every year, which just magically goes up and up and up. But your need for cover as you get older, you're closer to retirement, you're less income that's need to replace. For TBD, theoretically, it should be coming down because we need to replace less. So that's some of the things that they're talking about, incorporating tax considerations, which is something we do at Skye, which sometimes, boosts the sums insured more than we need to. So I think the biggest takeaway is insurers are freaking out about TBD sustainability. So they can see if everything stays the same, they're going to be bleeding money on their TBD claims. So that's why every insurer is talking about it at the moment and freaking out about it. Next up, what are we talking about? We're talking about table tennis. Ash.
We are.
We had a table tennis competition.
We did.
So talk to me about how we went with the table tennis competition last week.
Last week? Yes.
Buddy, I'm trying. I'm doing my best here.
Amateurs.
Buddy, I'm doing my best work here.
Well done, Phil.
Let's go back. So we had a table tennis competition last week. How was it, Ash? Did you get that? That's pressure.
It was ripper. Everyone came into the office. Anyone who could be here was here. Had a couple of the BDMs come down just to, add some more competition.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had a couple of rounds to try and get a winner from Skye from this competition, and still BDMs won each time.
So we had a tournament. Who won the tournament?
Bill from PPS.
Bill from PPS. Yeah. I'm so annoyed.
That being said, most of the people in the room pre-comp, when asked who's going to win, the answer was Bill. So he was...
You think most? No, it was a good spread.
It was a good spread, but I think it skewed more Bill.
I voted Bill.
Or Seb.
I think Seb got the majority. And then, so there was a semi-final.
Yeah.
Against me and Seb, me and young Sebastian. How'd that go?
Seb was warned not to let you get in his head. And what happened?
He reckons he didn't. He reckons I didn't get in his head. Seb won the first set.
That's not what it looked like happened.
Yeah, because he won the first set. He was like 5-7 in the second set up, and I beat him. And then I went into the finals against Bill, and I got destroyed 2 sets.
Bill's just...
I was very disappointed. But we did have a gift card winner, and Bill actually brought it in to give a prize to the winner, but given that he won, he didn't feel comfortable. So then we did, what was it called?
Round the World.
Round the World. Yeah. We did Round the World, which is good fun. And had you ever done Round the World before?
Yeah, I've played a couple of times, yeah.
And so we did Round the World. And then the winner was another BDM from another insurance company, Lee. So we couldn't give him the gift card. No. And so we need to decide who's going to get the gift card. Now, it's not... Yes, I know you're going to say, Phil, you should have it. You were in the finals. Say thank you, Ash.
You were the runner-up.
I appreciate it. I was the runner-up. But I think we need to give it to the team member who contributed the most. Who do you think it was? Who's your vote?
The most.
Yeah, the spirit of the game. Either played well or just supported well.
It'd probably either be Seb or Trent. They're both pretty good at bringing the energy.
They did. Okay.
I feel like that's not the answer you were hoping for.
No. I'll put my vote and then we can paper, scissors, rock.
Sounds like
So
fun.
I think, you know what? I think Sam engaged really well.
He did.
And he got in his own head with no help from anyone else.
Again, came down, got matched against you for the first round and went, oh, no, I'm against Phil. And everyone went, no,
You
back
got this.
yourself.
Yeah.
And he went, crumbled.
Yeah, he did. So I'm going to give it to Sam because he engaged. He freaked out, but then once he was out, he engaged still.
He did.
So I'm going for Sam. Who's your Seb or Trent?
Seb.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope I win because I beat Seb, and then he was very much going against me.
I'm just trying to prep him for all of the tennis matches I know you guys have against each other. I'd consider myself his coach at this point.
and we did play this morning and I beat him.
Exactly.
So paper, scissors, rock. We've got to do it really awkwardly and right near us so it's on camera. Are you ready? Paper, scissors, rock, shoot. Oh, we both did shoot anyway. All right. Let's do shoot. Paper, scissors, rock, shoot. Oh, you win.
Seb wins.
Nice one, Sebastian. You win. Good job.
Great work last week.
Yeah, well done. All right, that was good. We will hopefully do another table tennis comp, and I won't tell you about how we actually used the wrong balls with me
That's
and
what
Bill.
I thought.
And then we did have a quiet match afterwards with the correct balls, and I beat him. But I won't put that on camera, even though it's true. So let's go to client stories. What client's situation are you dealing with this week?
I had a fun one. The client's gone through our process. She's happy to take out some cover. She's gone through the application process, had a tele-interview, and the insurers come back saying that they wanted to go and get her gallbladder polyps checked out again. So she initially had some testing done in 2020 and hasn't had any follow-up since then. But her doctors never requested her to. They said they're small, inoperable, no worries, we're all done. Their insurers come back and said just one ultrasound isn't enough. Can we please get her to go and do another test? So I called up and I said, she will go do that, but it's going to take at least a month for her to just get an appointment with the doctor. She's a teacher. She can only go on weekends. It's hard to get those weekend appointments. So I went back and said, please, is there anything we can do just to get the cover out now? And then we can reevaluate once she has those results. And I got a win.
Yeah.
The insurers come back, NEOS have come back, and they've said we'll apply an exclusion for the gallbladder, and then we'll see what happens when she gets the results, and potentially it's reviewable.
That's good. So we've got cover in place, and then if we get the scan, all good in the hood, they'll remove the exclusion.
Yeah. And it means she's gotten in place at least a month quicker than she would have otherwise.
And it's a good scenario because, you know, the client's insured. Yeah, that's the most important thing. And, you know, the insurer still gets to mitigate their risk that anything's gone wrong, even though a doctor hasn't actually said do it, but that's okay. That's their priority. They're the ones paying out the claims if it needs to claim.
Yeah.
But yeah, great outcome.
How about you?
Dealing with claims again. I feel like that's all I talk about. But was dealing with a client who did make a claim on trauma insurance. And it was one of these things that with trauma insurance, there are some things that it's a yes or no answer. It's super easy to make a claim on, like, do you have a diagnosis of cancer? Yes. Is it certain stage? Yes. Then tick, claim.
Normally pays out the quickest for that reason.
Yeah, but there are some claims when it comes to trauma that it is based on specific severity of your condition. So we had a client who made a claim, but the severity of their condition didn't meet the trauma condition. So the insurance company declined the claim because it didn't meet the terms and conditions. And then with any claim, you've got I forget what the letter is called, but you've got an ability to go back to the insurer and just discuss kind of your thoughts of the claim and why
like
you think.
Appeal.
Yeah, kind of an appeal internally within the insurer. And then we helped the client do that. Again, they didn't meet the T's and C's of the contract, but we felt like it was reasonable given that the client had surgery at the time, was really proactive about their health, so it meant it didn't lead to a cognitive impairment. And then the insurer came back and said, okay, we will pay you 25% of the claim. As a goodwill. So they call it ex gratia payments, meaning, hey, we didn't do anything wrong, it's not our fault, and you got to sign all these documents saying that you're not going to come after them again. But that was a great outcome. And you know, there is a lot of sentiment. Insurers don't pay out claims, or insurers are really combative. And at the end of the day, if you can make a really good case to the insurer, then sometimes they will make those claims. And we haven't had huge numbers of claims, but I feel like we've, as a percentage, probably like almost 10% of our claims have been these ex gratia payments where they're not actually meeting the terms and conditions, but based on relationship and based on the reasonableness of the discussion, we've been able to get the client paid out a claim, which is always a good result to get some money in the client's hands.
Especially, you know, they're coming to an advisor for that help. So it's nice to know that we are able to go that step beyond.
Yeah, exactly.
For a reasonable situation.
Yes, yeah, and that's right. And you know, we talk about it internally. We're not going to go into bat if we think it's something's like, you know, if someone's clearly not dead, we're not going to go and try and get a life insurance payment paid out. Like, that's a very extreme example. It's more like if we feel like it's in the best scenario for the insurer to pay out, for the client to get paid a claim, then yeah, we go into bat and we try and advocate for our clients. So next up, we've got Baking Corner. Now, Ash, we've got Bring Your Sister to Work Day today.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring your sister to work.
She's come all the way from Perth just to be here.
Yeah, just to taste our baking treats.
Yeah.
So let's bring her downstairs. All right, so we've got Lauren here. Bring Your Sister to Work Day. Lauren, you get to be our taste tester, and you know you got to rate it out of 10.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
I've also been told that I should be as harsh as possible. So watch out.
I guess so. That's you're a sister. You have to be.
We're going for fairness. I didn't want people to think, you know, there was a sisterly bias, kindness going on.
What do we have?
So today we have thumbprint biscuits again that are about to go off the plate again, hopefully not. This time jam with some freeze-dried strawberry sprinkled on top that I had from previous bakings.
Question. Did you freeze-dry them yourself, or you bought freeze-dried strawberries?
I wouldn't know how to
Me
freeze.
neither.
I feel like that's quite a complex thing you would need to know. Anyway, Don't do it myself. Would love to.
All right, let's go.
I mean, maybe she can get tips from the lady from the mushroom case, Erin Patterson, with the freeze drying.
I'm so not current affairs kind of guy, but is that the person who tried to kill people? Is that all accused of? Allegedly?
She allegedly killed some people with some like dried mushrooms.
Oh, so we think. Oh, okay.
Maybe that's.
Well, it's on camera, so I guess it's good. If you do get sick, we know what's going on.
Exactly.
All right, let's go. I like the tension's building. This is what I like about
It tastes like jam.
Is that a positive or
and
negative?
Biscuits.
Yeah, that's what it is. What are we talking about?
I don't know. Nothing surprising,
Okay.
which is good. I would give it. I'm a big sweet tooth as well, obviously.
Obviously.
Well, because
baking.
siblings. I would probably give this maybe a 6 or 7.
We're going down every week. Yeah, every single week we're going down. But
Yeah, I think just because personally, I wouldn't choose this as my sweet of choice.
okay.
Yeah.
Are you a baker?
My oven doesn't work. But if my oven did work, potentially.
You would bake.
Yeah.
She used to bake cakes for friends' birthdays in high school.
You're
people,
that type of type A freak.
Yes, except someone in my office now does all of the baking, and I feel like I can't do the baking now. Because
Well, it's like
that's
everyone
her thing.
here. No one can bake because actually, you got to compete.
Yeah, but how many baked goods got brought in today? I think it's safe.
They were all bought. All of them were bought. Is your mum or dad a baker?
Definitely mum.
Is
Definitely not dad.
Now, would you rate Ash's baking or mum's baking?
I've had a lot more of mum's baking.
Okay.
I've been seeing some pictures and stuff every time she's baked,
Mm.
like basically since you guys got back from Europe. But so I would love to have tried some of those things. I did tell her not to bake for me
Okay.
when I came over.
But she did twice.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Wait, I didn't get the answer. Mum or Ash? Which one? Who's better?
Well, from what I've tried so far, I'd say
don't.
mum.
No. Okay, just say it. Mum or Ash?
Mum.
Yeah, let's go. Mums have to win.
But quantity is obviously gonna sway it.
Yeah, but mums always have to win. You've got to.
Mum wins.
Yeah.
She's just dancing around it.
Yeah, you got to.
Mum wins.
Hey, Lauren, appreciate it. Cheers. Cheers. All right. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Enjoy those. Bye.
Oh, good. Great baking, Ashley. Well done. Let's talk about what do we got coming up this week.
I'm off to a NEOS Next Wave PY workshop is what they're calling them.
Okay.
So most people in the industry know, the professional year program is something that a lot of people are trying to support and get behind. NEOS have just started doing, I'm not sure what frequency it's going to be, but they're going to have events every so often for professional year candidates, aspiring, recently completed, people to get together. And they're going to help us learn particular things. So this week we're going to be learning about some soft skill side of things, learning how to have hard conversations, and yeah.
Cool. You asked Trent before if he's going. How come I didn't get an invite?
Trent just sent the invite in our professional year chat, so I wanted to find out what was going on.
But he's not going?
He's not going.
Oh,
He was
right, I was
just
gonna say.
being the messenger.
I was about to call up Neos and say, how come I didn't get an invite? If Trent's invited, I should be invited. But
No, he wasn't invited, just being the messenger. Didn't realise.
Right. Old man Trent. Not allowed.
No, too old, too experienced. How about you? What do you got going on?
What do I have? What did I write down? Oh, we're interviewing a new role, actually. We are planning on bringing underwriting analysis in-house. So we've got some interviews for that this week. And then Wednesday, got a offsite. So the full day, me, Trent and Taz are going to be spending a whole day offsite doing some planning, future planning for the new financial year coming up, which excited for. We don't often, we do quarterly catch-ups a little bit, but it's still like in the office and people come in or send us a message or we get distracted a little bit. So we're going to be offsite on Wednesday.
Phones down.
I mean, probably we're pretty good at normally doing that. Like, yeah, especially me and Trent. Anytime we're, you've been to the advisor offsites. Anytime we're there, the phones are down all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
How good.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you again, Ashley. Appreciate your time, taking the time, and appreciate you bringing your sister in all the way from Perth, flying her in for this event.
Yeah, just for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, awesome. All right, thank you very much for watching. As always, if you do have any questions about what we're doing at Skye, anything that we talk about, feel free to jump on and write a comment. We can kind of address it in future this week at Skye's. Thank you again, Ash.
See you, Phil.
Thanks, Lauren.